Oh my goodness, neighbors. Welcome to Miracle Farm 1927. I brought you out here in the middle of the sorghum patch with me, and it has just been a week since the sorghum was about, waist high, I said. And we are going to measure some of this. And along with the beautiful sorghum growing like crazy, we got plenty of weeds going too. So that looks like that's going to be this week's project. So let me get the tape measure out and we'll see how tall this stuff is. Okay, I got it on an average plant here. Last week, I would say it was about 38, 39 inches. And this week, it's way on up to about 50. If I brought those leaves up, they'd be even taller. So it has grown almost a foot in a week. It is just amazing. But I told you it's got to get up to about 13 or 14 foot by the middle of October. So that's what we're looking for. Miracle takes them from the sink and cuts them, and so see they're on the pan like this, and then we broil them, and look how they let go of all their moisture. And then all you have to do is lift that skin off, and all you're left with is a mostly dry tomato, and as you pick it up, most of the seeds will just fall right out. And so half of your cooking, it's already roasted, it's going to have the good roasted flavor, and all you got to do now is get a submergible blender and blend them up. I wanted to show you what we did with all the elderberries and the tomatoes that we roasted. So we got the elderberries in their bag. They've been frozen for a couple days. I will be getting to them at the first of the week because all I have to do is do this. Look how they fall off. I must have a hole in my bag. But then I'll be able to condense this whole bag down into a quart-size bag. Now for the tomatoes, my canner holds, 7 quarts of tomatoes. So this is 4 quarts that we did the other day. They're all stuck together, so I had to show them to you. Like, when I get enough for a canner full, I will go ahead and put the onions and peppers and stuff with them to make some Italian sauce, and they will be ready to can. And that's how we do it, is because all your tomatoes do not come ready at one time, so you just can't make all your sauce at one time. A lot of people that have a lot of freezer space, which I don't, will save all their tomatoes till the winter when they have more time. We don't have a lot of time, but we don't have a lot of freezer space. So we are going to go ahead and do ours now this week. So we'll be doing the elderberries. I already made some syrup this week, and these little winter colds trying to come along. And we will be making spaghetti sauce. Well, it's also going to be like a combination of a pasta sauce. But that's what we do with them, so they lay nice and flat, don't take much room in the freezer, and it will be very soon that they will become sauce. I wanted to show you my elderberry syrup. And at the big yard sale yesterday, I was able to get some local honey to go with that. And that's just the perfect combination to get our winter stockpile of immune builders built up. Miracle has took it on to herself to do pickles this year. Papa provides the pickles, and the first one she did was these beautiful, I don't know if you can see the dill in there, these beautiful dill pickles. But those are not the special ones. The special ones I'll show you here in just a second. Okay, Miracle, these are your sweet pickles, and I want you to tell why they're so special.
So this recipe, you can see the date up here in the corner, 2013. So I remember I was sitting on my grandma's carport, and it was the first days, very, very early dementia was setting in with my grandma, so I really, really wanted to make sure I kept this recipe in the family. So this is called Tootie's Sweet Pickles. So Tootie's my grandma's nickname, so that's what we all called her. Instead of Grandma, we called her Tootie. So these sweet pickles are the best in the community. So this recipe, I have to ask Papa and Daddy if we're allowed to share it. But
we always share.
It's a really special recipe that we've kept in the family. I think my grandma's grandma had them. She made them. My aunt used to make them, and now I make them. But I wrote it down in chicken scratch and whatever else. You can see where I had to add on things because I not only wrote it down, but I reread it to her to make sure.
How old were you?
I was 13. So me at 13 knew I needed to keep this recipe in the family. I personally don't like sweet pickles, but my dad and my grandpa love them. So just to keep this recipe in the family and to keep them some sweet pickles in the pantry, I took it upon myself at 13 to get this recipe wrote down. So as like I said, we got all kinds of stuff. This poor recipe is just, this is the same piece of paper I wrote it on in 2013. It's 11 years later, and I found it and we started making them again. I made one batch in the past 13 years, or 11 years. And this was my second batch ever that I made. And I not only made them, every day for 14 days you have to do something. And to keep them alive and happy, and you have to keep adding stuff to them to make the flavor just right. You have to keep adding things to them and do different things to them every day to make sure that their texture's correct. A lot of details. I told Daddy it was like taking care of a child. So anyway, so this is the first time me canning by myself. And so I not only made sweet pickles, but some regular dill pickles too. So first time canning, I used my grandma.